Good day, YouTube. It is February 24, 2019. She's a rainy day. She's a little cold. We got snow in the forecast for tomorrow. Yeah, we'll see about that. Hey, we're actually working on the, what is this, 1970 John Deere 140H3. And we're going to kind of turn this into a battle against the penetrating lubricants. On my 69 John Deere 140H1, I've been using PB Blaster. Essentially, I bought these three tractors and I bought 3 cans of PB Blaster, knowing that it was going to take at least 1 can per tractor to make everything move again that didn't used to move. And so far, this is what I've been using on the H3 as well. And so far, we've got the lever moving that controls the drive, and the PTO switch is working. And then yesterday, believe it or not, I spent about half the dang day on the throttle cable and the choke cable, to which I had took the other end of the cables and I held them up and I clamped a piece of fuel line on them and filled the fuel line full of a combination of PB Blaster, some ATF, and some motor oil. Let them hang all week to come back yesterday and find that really nothing happened. So I ended up taking them apart. Let me come around the other side. I had to take the levers apart so you can get them out of there. If these knobs would come off, that'd be easier, but they don't. I think you basically have to destroy them and replace them to get them off. So what you have to do is unbolt them and then somehow get the cable itself off that lever. And there's just not enough room, and you can't really twist things far enough to just make that work. It is a real pain in the butt. And if you think getting them off is a pain, try putting them back together. So it was about half the day. It was very frustrating, but we did get them off. We got them over to the vise. Here's the end of one of them. I still got a vice grip on it because I was using it to twist this so I could get this end of it put back together. But anyway, we had these back over on the vise, and we were clamping this side in and using a claw hammer to pull. We finally get them all broke loose and then work with them. I actually chucked up this end of that cable in a drill and spun it. I just kept putting PB Blaster down the cable, moving it as much as I could, spinning it with a drill. One of them freed up fairly easily. The other one just fought me tooth and nail all the way. It was this one, actually, the choke side. But, you know, we got her working good now. She's nice and smooth. So I'm happy with that. But, boy, what a fight. It was an all-day, half a day anyway, event to get those done. I actually just finished bolting that one up inside this morning because I was done. I get to a point where I'm just like, man, I don't even want to work on this thing anymore. So back to the battle of the deep creep, the PB Blaster and WD-40, getting these levers freed up. So this tractor's obviously sat outside for a significant period of time, and I really don't want to pull this stuff apart. It's a major, major deal. So let's put these penetrating fluids to the test. And I've been spraying, this one I'm using Deep Creep on. The H1 I'm still using PB Blaster on. And I'm spraying between the levers. And then inside the this housing area here, down in there, light, yeah, right there. I've been spraying that every few hours yesterday, and we'll spray it every few hours today. And we'll just let it sit, see if it'll do its thing. I've had people tell me on the internet, and subscribers tell me, that Deep Creep is 100 times better than PB Blaster. Well, right now, neither one are impressing me in this situation. However, PB Blaster has been my go-to spray for a long, long time. As far as a penetrating fluid. Some people, believe it or not, still say WD-40, WD-40. Well, nowhere on a can of WD-40 does it say that it's a penetrant. This does, and this does. WD-40 was invented as a water displacement spray for the military. It was never designed to be a penetrating fluid. It does have oil in it, which makes it a great lubricant, which I don't know if these are saying that they're, yeah, that's a lubricant. Does PB Blaster say it's a lubricant? Not so sure. Anyway, as far as a lubricant concerned, WD-40 is my go-to spray. PB Blaster has been my go-to spray for things that need penetrating oil to break loose. Deep Creep is the first time I've used it, but I'm a big fan of Seafoam products, so I can be a big fan of Deep Creep. And in fact, if it actually goes to work and frees up the 3 levers on my H3 John Deere, I'll spread that news to the highest mountain, because taking all that stuff apart, that's going to be a weekend in itself. So, again, I've resprayed this already this morning. Got out here about 7:45 or so after breakfast, and getting things underway. So now that I've got the cables back in, I will get the throttle cable and choke cable and the throttle linkage hooked up to the governor. I think that's going to be the next order of business on this tractor for this morning. By then, we'll be due for another spray on the old levers there. And then kind of sorting things out. So let's back up a little bit. I bought one tire for the H1 tractor because it had one good tire on it, or so I thought. And then when I went to take it off, realized it was brand new tread. Still had the nubbies on it, but the sidewall was cracked. So I ended up running down to the local farm store and buying a pair of tires, which left that one left over for this tractor. So I got another one ordered this weekend on eBay that matches it, so that I've got 2 tires to put on the front of this, tires and tubes. And I'm still trying to think of what I want to do for wheels and tires for the rear. I want this to have ag tires on it. These are brand new. I'll probably move these over to the 210, use the 210 wheels. Wish they were wider. Might buy some wider wheels. Not really positive how this is all going to work out yet for the rear of this, but it's not that important to get this thing running and driving. These are actually brand new and they hold air just fine. So I got another tire coming for this, so maybe next weekend we can do front tires on it. And then I want to show you real quick in my run for parts. Yes, I spent real money and got this boy. Yeah, those rings, those chrome rings, they're not very good quality, but they are brand new from John Deere and a new John Deere decal. And that'll get fitted approximately there. It makes for a really good looking front end. And then we got to get the hood done. We're doing a separate video on the hood. We got some big fiberglass activity going on here, and I'll be able to kind of pick up this today too. Maybe get that all sanded out and primer and finish up the video on the repair of the fiberglass hood on the 140, and you can watch that video if you're interested. So I've actually filled the holes where the hood mounts, reinforced everything. It was kind of broken. This is a better hood than what I had to start with, but it was not a good, perfect hood. The hood that came with this is severely damaged. Beyond repair, no, everything's repairable, but this one was so much easier to repair. So if you're interested in the fiberglass repair of the hood, separate video. I don't know if I'll get it up tonight, but I might. I will get this video up tonight, however far we get. So let's get into getting these cables back on. It's all in an effort to make this thing run and drive from the driver's seat, and we'll check you back in a little bit. All right, we're making a little bit of progress today. We got the choke hooked up. Remember, we had to pull this whole choke assembly out and turned it 180 degrees the other way. It was in the last video. You can see my little weld going on there. So choke, this is the bracket, factory bracket, bolts back there. It also holds a little strap that holds the throttle cable, which comes up here to the governor assembly and is pulls back the spring, which puts more spring pressure on the lever. This came with the carburetor, and anyway, all hooked up there. So ready to put the air cleaner back on, at least permanently for a while. Pulled the coil off. Somebody had a condenser on the positive side of the coil. On the positive side of the coil. What in the world is that for? Other than if you had a radio on this thing or something as a noise suppressor. Didn't see any reason for it. Took it off. Leaving it off. There it is. I don't know why it was there. But it's not going back. I got you there. So this wire here is for the headlights. And we will have headlights on this thing. We will have headlights on this thing. Let me show you a disappointment here. We started off talking about deep creep and all that PB blaster and all that stuff. I've been spraying on these for a couple days. I got a little anxious. Tied a rope on it and grabbed a board and started pulling, and they ain't that strong. I broke it. Yep. I broke it. So it's not ready for prime time to be moving yet. They're still super stuck. I'm sure I'm gonna have to get in there and just tear it all apart. Somehow get it apart. And then weld that lever back on. I don't know. I thought it was moving. It was. But the shaft wasn't moving. So I broke it. It's a failure. We do that once in a while. But we can fix it. Alright, so that is kind of the update. Not sure what's next here. I'll think hard. I sure wish I could get progress with that. I get a little anxious and a little less patient, and that's when I start breaking stuff. So sometimes I gotta slow my roll and let things work in real time. So I will find a few things to do. Probably repaint that heat shield that goes out there. I might get online and look. I'm still trying to find the heat shield that goes between the one I just bought and here. It would go from here to about here, and then the heat shield goes on from here over the muffler, the one I purchased the other day. Progress is slow, steady but slow. I guess we have to take wins when we can get them. And so we'll catch you guys a little bit later. We'll probably end this video this afternoon with whatever else I can get done. Catch you in a little bit. Alright, one of the last orders of business for today is going to be getting the wheels and tires off of this thing. We'll get them dismounted. You see all these things are, ooh, they're cracking bad. And I had a really hard time pulling these metal dust caps off the other 140. But I kind of figured a way how to do it, and I just thought I'd show you real quick. We're going to drive the screwdriver between the hub and the cap. I'm going to take this claw hammer right onto the screwdriver and give it heck here. 1, 2, 3. There we go. These caps had Zerk fittings in them, so you could just pump grease in there. And looks like it has had grease pumped in there. Clean this off enough to find the cotter pin. Yuck. There we go. Let's pull the pin. These are side cutters. Yeah. Never reuse one, but I do keep it just for sizing purposes, so I know what size cotter pin to put back. Pull the nut. I can get these bearings soaking in some solvent for a couple of days. It'll make them easier to clean up and repack. I don't really have the energy to dismount these tires today, I gotta tell you. bearing out. Wheel and tire assembly is removed. Right. So, let's recap the progress on the 0140. I broke one of the hydraulic levers. That's not forward progress, but I did get that done. We got the wheels and tires off of it. I'll pull the bearings all off and get them soaking. But hey, we got the choke cable and the throttle cable all freed up. I'll spray the hydraulic lever pivots again before I call it a day today, and we'll let that soak. Remember, it's deep creep on the H3 and it's PB blaster on the H1. It's a contest. We'll see which one prevails. We got the cables and the governor and everything all hooked back up. Air cleaner's back on. And yeah, it's progress. I did finish up the video on the repair of the hood. I'm going to just give you a quick glimpse of it's all completed. You can check that video out. I posted it earlier today, so it's ahead of this video. I'm really not sure about the whole painting thing. I mean, I've started, kind of painted those because I had to. Didn't have no paint on them. So, you know, the hood's got to be painted, but not sure just exactly how I'm going to proceed with the rest of this. Probably I'm going to end up painting it, but not like a body off or anything like that. I pulled that in the process of doing other things, but I did order a new regulator because this one's not charging, neither is the other one. So obviously I have a little diagnostic work to do, but let's get a new regulator and we'll test them that way. And if it's a regulator, that'll be great on both of them. I'll just order another one. That'll be that. So gang, I appreciate you hanging out with the shop with me. If you haven't already subscribed to my channel, please do so and hit the bell so you get notified of future videos. These videos come absolutely free to you, but if you'll hit the thumbs up button, it's like throwing a penny in my piggy bank and I could use the pennies. Thanks gang, we'll catch you on the next video.